Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. So this video is going to be like a little shorter than my other ones. I don't think I'm going to go 20 minutes this time like I have been on my last 5 or 6 or maybe even 7 videos. But this one's important. I don't think I've ever really done a full video on this topic. And it's what is a medical monitor? And then how to become a medical monitor. So, I mean, unless you're in this industry, unless you're in the clinical research industry, you really wouldn't know what a medical monitor is. There's no reason to know what a medical monitor is unless you're working in this industry, and then you become familiar with the term. So I just took a call from a potential client. She's a physician in the United States. She doesn't practice, so she doesn't really see patients. She owned a couple of laser clinics. I believe she was a pediatrician. So she wanted to actually be a CRA because people know more about CRAs even if they're not working in the industry. They might know what a CRA is more than what a medical monitor is. So she wanted to be a CRA. She asked if I think she's overqualified. I said, yes, I do. Unless you're a foreign MD, then no, you're not overqualified. But she's not. She's a doctor, physician in the United States, licensed, board certified. So yes, you are overqualified to be a CRA, but the good news is you have the opportunity for a much better career as a medical monitor. Much better as far as workload, much better as far as the need to travel. You don't have to travel as often as CRAs. And of course, much better as far as payment. Significantly better. So there's still a demand for medical monitors. There's what a medical monitor is. It has to be an MD, although I think PharmD, pharmacist, is acceptable. But typically they're MDs that have nothing to do with seeing patients in research at all. Typically, a medical monitor starts out as an investigator of a site. Usually they own their own site or they work at an academic institution. And then they come into contact with other CRAs, and the CRAs let them know, hey, my company is hiring for medical monitors. I notice you might be interested in research. Why don't you apply? So that's typically how a medical monitor ends up in that profession. However, you would never know that, like I said, unless you're in the industry. So you are overqualified as a medical monitor, as a CRA, but not as a medical monitor. Now the thing is, and the catch is, like I mentioned before, you do need some research experience, okay? Typically they will not hire you just because you're an MD. You need some clinical research experience. So the best way to do that, the easiest way to do that, and the way that you can control your outcome the best is to open your own site. Doesn't have to be a big site. You don't have to spend a lot of money. If you need consulting help, me and my team will consult for you for a small fee and help you set up everything that you need to open your site. We will get you the studies. We will help you find study coordinators. And once you've done enough studies, so in a year's time, maybe 2 years' time, let's play conservative here. After a 2-year period, you will hopefully have enough experience on your resume, meaning maybe 10, 15 protocols that you've participated in. Now you have adequate experience in clinical research to go and apply as a medical monitor, and I'll even help you do that if that's the case, but you may not even need my help. You can just deal with your CRAs for your studies that you have going on at your site, and they'll be able to introduce you to someone at the CRO or the sponsor level who's in charge of hiring medical monitors. So most of the time that's how a medical monitor even gets that position, is they started out as an investigator either at their own site or at an academic institution. But doing it at your own site is faster, quicker, maybe not cheaper, but faster, quicker, and you can get more experience and more real-world, practical, hands-on experience. And you'll have to spend a little bit of money. You'll need a good coordinator. You'll need like an experienced study coordinator, which typically will cost anywhere from $36,000 to $65,000 per year, depending on where you're located and how experienced they are. And you don't have to go crazy and be a high enrolling site. If your goal is to be a medical monitor, you can just be an average enroller in your studies. The whole purpose for you is to gain the experience in order to become a medical monitor and to put yourself on the fast track to becoming a medical monitor. Now, what a lot of medical monitors have done, because a lot of medical monitors have followed this formula to get into becoming a medical monitor, even if they didn't know that that's what they were doing at the time, that is the formula that they followed to become medical monitors to get to where they are. A lot of these medical monitors who started out owning their own research clinics still own those research clinics, but are full-time medical monitors for the CRO, and they've hired other doctors or other employees and other principal investigators to run the studies at their clinic. So now that is generating passive income for that person, and they're getting a very nice salary, usually $200,000 to $300,000, maybe even more, as a salary to be a medical monitor. So again, if you're a doctor, licensed physician in the United States, this may be an option that you've never thought of, maybe never even heard of. This is the way to do it. If you need my consulting help, I can help you out. If you don't, the formula is here for free on YouTube for you to find and to try to follow, okay? If you have any questions, give me a call, 949-415-6256, or you can also text me at that same number, 949-415-6256, and also email me anytime, Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.